I want to talk to you guys on what I am seeing in the market right now and how I'm seeing changes and things going on in the market. Interest rates being so crazy low, below 3%. In fact, one of my houses in Houston, I'm literally refinancing it, going from a 4.65% interest rate. It's a second home or an investment property, getting it down to like 3.1 or 3.2%. It's so awesome. And I'm actually lowering it to a 20-year note instead of a 30-year note. And so these interest rates are so low. But what I want to talk to you about is what is going on in the market right now. Everything with the COVID-19 coronavirus that's going on, to the interest rates, to people buying up properties. There's got to be something that goes off in all of our brains when we hear South Dakota prices are skyrocketing. That would be like, wow, who's going to move to South Dakota? Why would you move there? Prices are skyrocketing. Another thought is, oh my goodness, in Arizona, right now, where I live, we are currently looking for houses. There are properties that are selling for $400,000 or $500,000 in Phoenix. It's hot here. Who moves to Phoenix? I'm serious. Well, I do. I love Phoenix, actually. But most people don't move here for the weather because obviously the winter's great. But when you're thinking about a house, there's no way a home in Phoenix should cost $450,000 or $500,000. Normal 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom houses, they're selling for literally $350,000, $400,000 on up to $500,000. And this is not Scottsdale, which is the ritzy area. This is just a regular city. It is so stupid crazy how expensive things are. Now, if you guys remember, I talked about a little bit ago how I'm going to do an advanced strategy where I'm going to sell my current house. I'm going to buy a second house or another house to live in, and I'm going to take the profits from my first house that I'm literally selling, buying more properties. Now, check the description. I have a whole advanced strategy on how to do that. I absolutely was going to do that until I saw how crazy this market is right now. Now, two thoughts. Number one, you might be thinking, oh my goodness, how should I invest in real estate? If prices are so crazy, why should I invest? I'll get to that. Don't worry about that. We're absolutely going to get to that. But right now, at $300,000 or $400,000 homes, it's not normal. This should not be this expensive. In fact, there was somebody, actually it was a realtor. I was looking at new homes, really nice homes. I was like, man, this is great. $400,000 for this house? That's just crazy. But the realtor literally said to me, we're out of inventory. Basically, we're running out of houses. And so what she said to me was, if you would have told me back in February that we would be so crazy like we are now, like it was back in 2006 in the boom, the real estate boom before the crash, I wouldn't have believed you. And that struck my brain. This should be all, like everybody's brain should be like, light bulb, like, uh-oh, what's going on with the market? Here is the downside of what's going on. Prices are just going up because interest rates go down. You probably don't remember this, but I literally called this back in, was it January or February? I said, okay, the Federal Reserve just lowered their interest rates down to zero. Like it's literally zero, but that's borrowing from bank to bank. That's not a mortgage rate. But I said it always follows. The mortgage rates always follow what the Federal Reserve does. It's not actually part of the government. It's actually a conglomerate of banks. Don't get me started on the Federal Reserve. I'm not a big fan of them. But what I'm looking at now, we have interest rates record low. And I called it back in January. I said, as soon as they lower rates, mortgage rates will follow. And what happens then? Prices go up. The reason why prices go up, everybody only has a certain amount of money that they can pay for rent. If they're going to be paying rent of $1,200 a month, well, that's all they have. They can't spend $1,300 or $1,400 a month for rent. Same thing for a mortgage. If they can only spend $1,500 for a mortgage, well, if interest rates are higher, that $1,500 doesn't go very far. If interest rates go down lower, your money, your $1,500 goes much further. That's why prices are just skyrocketing up. In fact, in the last, 3 or 4 months, inventory's low, people are buying. So, actually, you have a supply and demand actually going on. And so what you're looking at now is the prices are skyrocketing up. I want to say in the last, 2 or 3 months, it's gone up 10 or 20% in certain areas that I've seen. Now, these are the properties, and pausing that, I am not going to follow through. I told you, if there's any hiccups, I'm going to let you know. At the time when I had this strategy, it wasn't on the run up. It was just starting. And so I started looking for properties. I'm like, okay, this is good. But then after about 3 or 4 weeks, I'm like, This is crazy. Houses come on the market and they get sold for like $20,000 more than it's listed for. This is weird. What's going on? So I kind of put the brakes on. I was like, let me see what's going on. Then I talked to other realtors and then I saw what's going on in the housing market. And noticing that, and I told you, if there's any hiccups in my plan, I'm going to tell you. So this is me literally telling you this. Right now, the market is absolutely crazy for new homes or living in a personal home, not for investments. Remember, I told you what I will talk to you about is how can you invest in a market that's crazy like this? There's absolutely a way, and we're going to get it in just a second. If you're going to buy a $300,000 house, a $400,000 house, a $500,000 house in Phoenix, I mean, right, seriously, who's going to pay $500,000 for a house in Phoenix? It's just stupid. But there are. Now, if there was a crash like there was back in 2007, 2008, 2009, if there's a crash, home prices went down by half, literally half. If you buy a $500,000 house, it goes down in half. You lost $250,000 on paper. $250,000 on paper because you haven't sold it yet. Once you sell it, then you literally lose that money. But your negative equity, they called it underwater. You're underwater. You owe way more than it's actually worth. Now, that's the downside right now. But here's the great thing. This is what I want you guys to hear. The amazing thing is that the market on investment properties have not gone crazy. In fact, it's about the same. It's about plateauing. Now, there are certain markets that the houses aren't staying on the market very long, but that's fine. We as investors, we put offer after offer after offer. We just keep putting in offers and offers. Now, as we're doing that, what we're realizing is what we want to do is find properties that are not $500,000, not $400,000, not even $300,000 or $200,000. We're finding homes for $120,000 and below. I'd say at the very highest, maybe $150,000. That's the very highest I would ever encourage anybody to buy and below. You can find homes still, like literally, I have a couple students that are buying, they're literally closing right around now for like $35,000 or $40,000 for these houses that are renting for like $850 a month. They're going to be pocketing $250 a month in passive income or more from every single one of these properties. So if you're going to buy a house that's $500,000, if it gets cut in half, $250,000, that is gone in equity. If you buy an $80,000 house, only $40,000 is gone out of your equity, out of the house. You still have $40,000, but you still have the property making you passive income. Now, if I had not gone through this experience, I probably would be, like, oh no, everything's going bad. I started investing in 2006. That was before the crash. I was in California investing before the crash, and I bought in Ohio because California was stupid expensive, just like it is now. Couldn't buy a property that was going to make me money, so I bought in Ohio. I bought my house, I think it was like $20,000 or something like that, bought that first house. Then I made money every single month. Like I said, if I didn't have this experience already, it'd be hard for me to tell you this, but you will absolutely make money if you build the business first. You have other people run the business, you account for all the numbers, you make $250 a month in passive income. If you do that, then no matter if the market goes up, if it goes down, if it goes sideways, you are still making money in passive income because that's what we invest for. Now, what's amazing is even if the property goes down, it'll go back up. I kid you not, the homes that I bought back in 2006, 2007, 2008, before the crash, the prices are right back up to where it is now, where it was when it crashed, and above that. I, on paper, looked like I lost a lot of money, but I didn't sell. I only lose it when I sell. I did not sell. What I actually did was I then just kept the property, kept my tenants in there, made sure that everything was going fine, and they kept paying my rent, which is fantastic. I give them good homes to live in. They pay me rent, and we're all happy. Everything's great. And if the market went up, I made money. If the market went down, I made money. If the market went sideways, I still made money. So here's the thing that you guys want to do or to realize in this crazy market, which it is crazy right now because interest rates are so low, you still can't invest in real estate. But you cannot invest usually like in your backyard. Like if you live in Washington, D.C., that's going to be very, very hard to find a good home that's relatively low price. If you live in New York City or San Francisco or anywhere on the coast, it's going to be rough. But if you're looking like in the Carolinas, down to Florida, the Midwest, if you're looking at all these other places, some great homes, Great homes. They maybe need a little bit of work, $5,000 to fix up. But if you're total into a property for $40,000 with rehab and you're making $250 a month in passive income, that's phenomenal. Even if it gets cut in half, that's only $20,000 on paper. Shoot, you lose that much more money just by getting a car accident. God forbid you get a car accident. But what I'm saying is you want to be buying the lower price homes. I'm seeing these lower price homes staying on the market for a very long time. And you can actually, as we're investors, we actually get equity capture at the same time, because what we do with equity capture was we buy it for lower than it's worth. So we capture equity as well. So that is what I'm seeing in the market right now, is the home prices for expensive homes are crazy, stupid high because interest rates are really low. But homes for investing, homes that are under 100, right around $100,000, maybe less than $100,000, are phenomenal. They're going to be fantastic for you to buy, make money every single month in passive income, and then roll that into the next property. So that's absolutely what you want to be doing, is looking for these properties. Number one, looking for areas that are great places to invest in real estate. Number two, building the business first, finding the property managers, the realtors, the wholesalers, the inspectors, basically everybody to run the business for you. Then we find the property, then we negotiate, we buy the property, then we get the property managers to fix it up, and then we rent out the property, and then we make money in passive income. Super simple. I know it sounds simple. I know you might be thinking, oh shoot, Dustin, hey, it's easier for you. You've done it 30 times, like 30 plus times. Like, yes, I have, but it starts with one. We all start from scratch. We all start from one place. I literally, when I started, there were no podcasts on any of this stuff. And in fact, nobody was literally teaching this. If there was a podcast, I think probably about 5 or 6 years after I started investing, some podcasts started coming out, but it was more of like, well, hey, how did you invest? Like, what was your steps? Like, how did you have money? Where did you find that first property? What did that deal look like? Nobody literally teaching, like I'm literally teaching you how to invest step by step. And I am so glad that you're here with me. You guys are fantastic. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you just share this with somebody. Share it with just one person. Change their lives, because investing in real estate is absolutely the best way to change your life. So you guys are awesome. I'll see you guys in the next one.